ABCs of the UCCs. Article 5. Letters of Credit. Notes from the book. Taken by A.G. Middleditch on YouTube. A letter of credit is a letter from a bank or occasionally some other entity that promises to pay money, occasionally another item of value, to the beneficiary in the future. If the bank receives specific documents listed in the letter of credit and letter of credit, the bank that sent that letter is the issue. The one obligated to pay the person that receives that letter is the beneficiary. The person that will receive payment, third party to the arrangement, is the applicant, which asks the bank to issue the letter of credit to support some obligation that might owe to the beneficiary if the bank ends up paying the beneficiary and the credit, and it is entitled to reimbursement from the applicant. Ordinarily, the bank will take funds from a bank account of the applicant that it's holding or charge in advance to a line of credit for the applicant. Letters of credit have two key attributes. The first issue obligation is in terms of the documentary presentation that the beneficiary must make to receive payment from the second. Letters of credit or independent obligations if the beneficiary presents the required documents to the issue. The issue must pay the beneficiary, even if the obligation of the applicant to the beneficiary is invalid or unenforceable. Combining the two principles, it is fair to say that letters of credit ignore the transaction. They paid out if the beneficiary presents the correct documents, regardless of whether the beneficiary performed this underlying duty to, or conversely, they're not paid out without the correct documents, even if the beneficiary performed this duty to the applicant. Launch need. For historical reasons, almost everything about letters of credit depends on paper documents. The laws and practices that govern letters begin to acknowledge the possibility of electronic documentation and the significant number of letters or credit and issued electronically, often through the SWIFT network trend that accelerated during the COVID-19 pandemic, began in 2020. The letter of credit is an irrevocable, unconditional promise to pay the beneficiary upon the presentation of specified documents. The court went on to explain that allowing the debtor's bankruptcy to interfere with payments on letters of credit would vitiate the purpose of such letters. Letters of credit are an ingenious device of international commerce because, other things, they relieve the beneficiary from the applicant's solvency. The beneficiary looks not to the applicant but the bank for payment.